I'm grateful to have you join with me for the devotion for Thursday, February the 4th. Before we start with the devotion, I want to ask today that you be praying for David and Connie Liptrap. We are looking at Isaiah chapter 44 today. And this is one of those chapters that says so much about so many things. It's kind of like I kept going through, what do I share, what do I leave out? I think, though, before I even begin to look at Isaiah 44, I want to go to Luke 24. This is where Jesus has risen from the dead. He walked with them on the road to Emmaus. As he broke bread, their eyes were open and they realized who he was. And it says, these are the words which I spoke to you while I was still with you, that all things must be fulfilled which were written in the law of Moses and the prophets and the Psalms concerning me. And he opened their understanding that they may comprehend the scriptures. So as Jesus is walking with them following the resurrection, it basically says he goes along and he takes, it must have been multiple scriptures out of the Old Testament that taught about him. I would have loved to have heard that message. The reason I point that out, because I think I said a couple days ago or sometime recently, that as I read through the book of Isaiah, especially picking up in chapter 40, there are so many things in there that I see pictures or references to the Lord Jesus. And that is the way that it is with this chapter. So let's just pick up and look at some of these things. Of course, verse 5, there's something that I really want to point out here, where the Lord is speaking, and one will say, I am the Lord's, and another will call himself by the name of Jacob. Another will write with his hand, the Lord's. You know, basically, the person understands, I'm the Lord's. And shouldn't that be the way that we live our life? Whether we're in church, whether we're at home, whether we're in the grocery store, whether we're playing ball, whatever we're doing, that we work. I am the Lord's. To have that, we're not our own. We belong to the Lord. And that's what the people of Israel are going to come to understand. And you and I are blood-bought people. But in verse 2, it teaches he's our creator. And as you read in Colossians chapter 1, along with other places, we come to understand that Jesus was our creator. Nothing was made that was not made that he was not involved in. But I go down to verse 6, and there's all these titles that remind me of Christ, the King of Israel. What did the wise men say? Behold, we have come to worship. We've seen his star, and we have come to worship the King of the Jews. Here's an Old Testament passage talking about the Lord, capital L-O-R-D, Jehovah God, Yahweh God, being the King of Israel. Well, Jesus is the King of the Jews. It says here, speaking of what we think of people would say the Old Testament God, he is our Redeemer. We certainly understand that Jesus is our Redeemer. He purchased us that we may belong to God, and he redeemed us from the penalty and the power of sin. He is the Lord of hosts, it mentions here. Well, it teaches the Lord of hosts means he is Lord over all. We learn as we see Jesus coming in the Revelation that there is written on his thigh this name, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He is king over all. He and Lord over all. He's not king of a few things and Lord of a few things. The Lord Jesus, who is referred to here, is indeed the Lord of hosts. Then he says, I am the first and the last. And as you come to the last book of the New Testament, the Revelation chapter 22, behold, I come quickly. My reward is with me. And it refers to him as the Alpha, the Omega, the first and the last. And then there's one other title given here in verse 8, do not fear, don't be afraid. Have I not told you from the time and declared it? You are my witnesses. Is there a God beside me? Indeed, there is no other God. Indeed, there is no other rock, capital R-O-C-K. As you read in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4, it talks about the rock who followed them in the wilderness, and that rock is Christ. So again, it's sort of tough. There's many things in here, but there's just so many titles that you can look at here and see, wow, that title is also given to Christ. Today, I encourage you to remember, write it up on your heart. Put it in a place you remember, I am the Lord's. And as you read through the book of Isaiah, continue to see the Lord Jesus revealed, just as the Lord Jesus revealed himself through the Old Testament scriptures to those on the road to Emmaus. Hey, God bless you.